Hello and welcome back again. It's Laura at Hyperstamper. Today's antique junk journal is this gorgeous book from the 1890s. It was published in the 1890s, but received by the first owner in 1902. And this is the beautiful cover of this book. This is another one of Rosa Carey's books. I've had quite a few of these. She was a brilliant writer for young girls in the 1800s and early 1900s. I love the spine of this one. It's a different cover for her. This publisher uses a different style, but I love this girl at the fence. I love the bright green of the dress and the trees in the background and her shoes, just brilliant. So I added a ribbon down the side here that I thought went well with the dress. And then I found these vintage pieces here that also complemented this beautiful deep dusty rose here and blacks. It's just stunning. I added some dusty rose trim down the side here as well. Let me take you on a little tour here. It was incredibly damaged inside. Oh, I want to show you a little example of the inside of the book. It was like this brittle, so brittle that I really couldn't do anything with it. And the original owner had scotch taped it together in so many places that I tried to keep those in. So here is the inscription. She got this for Christmas in 1902, and this was the original first page. You can see where the one of the owners in the past 120 years has taped it together. So I glued it to this first page here, and I have more of the original pages inside. So this is an early 1900s page on woodworking, one of my wonderful Pearl Shop 1950s receipts, and just a little journaling tag here. Early 1900s pocket page, 1930s children's book page. We've got squirrels and cats there. And let's see over here. Everything in here is authentic, vintage, and antique ephemera. I don't use any commercial products. And of course, everything you see in my videos goes up on Etsy, hyperstamper.etsy.com, and I include free shipping in North America. So enjoy that little perk. This is a wonderful page from the 1920s, a children's book page with that wonderful cardstock. When I received it, it had this gouge out of it, but I just left it because it's the sweetest little story here of a girl and her doll. It's wonderful. This is from the 1890s as well. It's a watch guard's dial that would have gone in a timekeeping watch. And this is a little glassine envelope, a vintage one, filled with various international vintage and antique stamps for fun there. You can do lots with that. This is from the 1920s, Young Folks at Home, How to Dress Properly. Little puppy dog here. And him calling his little dog there, 1920s. This is a wonderful 1920s photograph. Look at this dapper couple here in their costume of the era. And more antique book pages here. This is another original, the original front plate of the book. Again, the owner tried to scotch tape it in. It was just so fragile, so I glued it to this other antique book page here from the early 1900s. This little pocket here, hidden journaling spot, and then I made this out of a vintage music book page. It's got the pretty deer and birds there, and antique paper on the back. I love it. I do. This fun cluster, it's got some internal spine here, another journaling spot here, and this early 1900s country life reader. Some journaling spots here and here. Look at that metal arc there. Just, oh, I just love, you know me, I love the bird pages so much. More fun clusters, vintage recipe book page, early 1920s children's book page. Isn't that fun? Look at the vibrant colors. Whoops, this one got, when I trimmed this one, it got cut. So I'm going to do some repair on this so it will stay in there, or maybe I'll just take that out and it still leaves the integrity there. Yeah, we still get the full image there of the girl playing with her puppy. And more antique book pages. And I like these because they're blank, so you have lots of work. The Woman in His Life, that was the chapter page on that. And then this is the internal spine of this book. And I made a little pocket here out of a Huckleberry Finn antique book page. And this is one of my Arborite collections. This is a double-sided Arborite sample from the 1940s. That would have been a kitchen counter sample. Remember those? And that's the original Arborite company where the name Arborite comes from. So pretty cool. I hope my brother-in-law's not watching. He will shudder that I am giving those away. Black and white botanical page. I really like this here. A dictionary, vintage dictionary page on a bench. And, oh yes, things to make and do from the 20s. Look at this little girl's toy sewing machine. Isn't that adorable? Another vintage children's book page and an antique postcard here from 1925 to Pennsylvania. I love it. Another fun children's book page here, a 1950s embroidery book page there. That's a lovely plate, excellent photography for the era. And look at this, a garden of stories. Isn't that beautiful children's book page? Look at it, round and round the village. Oh, love it. How to make a cat toy here, a beanbag cat, and how to make a handkerchief box and pin case. Fun. Yep. Another children's book page here, cluster, and this came from the pre-1920. This is a wonderful book illustration there. Another one here, and this came from the vintage book Bambi that I recently made into a journal and sold with some antique paper on the back for journaling. It's a wonderful encyclopedia page here, or sorry, dictionary page. And this is a 1953 beverage company receipt. 1955 American Highways Road Map page, really cool. The 1930s committee's ledger page from the Beacon Lodge. A wonderful plate here. This is on boiling maple sugar from the Country Life Reader, and this is a 1925 bank, or 29 banknote, and a really cool vintage playing card here. Look at the jack. Isn't that different? He's even got a glass of wine there. I don't see that very often. Another antique stamp here. A wonderful other page of that same book. Look at the Jack in the Box page. Isn't that fun? This is a book that was about making songs with your fingers by the original author on how to do that. And this is the end page of the book. I am going to adhere this as well as this really cool set of pages here that has books for girls, and a lot of them I have turned into journals, so you may recognize some of those, but I just think they belong in this book. I am getting ready to attach those, but I wanted to get this on Etsy as soon as I could. Hyperstamper.etsy.com, and thanks for visiting. Don't forget to subscribe.